Hello children, welcome back to the class of biology. In the last class, we had discussed about animal husbandry from the lesson Improvement in Food Resources. We'll continue the same topic because we need to talk about the preventive measures and the diseases that are caused in animals. Before we move on to that, let us just revise quickly what we did last time. We had discussed about animal husbandry and defined it. It is the scientific management of domestic animals in an efficient manner to obtain food and other useful products from them. In short, if we want to get something from the animals, then we need to rear them and we need to give them food and give something useful to them in order to get food and useful products from them. When we talked about it, we also discussed about the various aspects such as feeding, that means giving food, breeding, that means bringing up, and disease control. Now, when we talk about the animals that are included in it, that includes cattle, goat, sheep, poultry, and fish farming. Now, as I said, we'll be talking about it one by one. So, there should be a need for improvement in the livestock productions. Now, why should there be an improvement in the livestock production? Because of the increase in population. The demand for milk, eggs and meat also increases. So, in order to get more of it, we must improve the livestock production. And also nowadays the standard of living has increased, and because of that people need good quality foods, and because of that there is a need in the improvement. Even the awareness among people of livestock, of treatment of animals has brought new limitations in the livestock farming. So there need to be improvement in order to get good products from the cattle that are reared. When we talk about cattle farming, why do we do cattle farming? In order to get some products. What are those products? It may be milk. Now, even the cattle are used in plowing the fields, and even the animals are used for transportation. So there are various purposes for which these animals are breeded and reared. We also discussed about the types of cattle, that is the cow and the buffalo, having the scientific names Bos indicus and Bos bobalicus respectively. We had talked about milch animals. What are milch animals? They are the milk yielding animals, the animals that give milk. Now they are domestic animals. Which are the domestic animals? The animals that are kept at home in order to get something from that, or to make use of them for certain purposes. So they yield milk or they are kept for milk production. Now this includes milk producing animals, especially the female cattle. And when we talk about these animals, they are cows, buffaloes, goats and camels. We had also talked about the drought animals, the animals which do not produce milk and use for agricultural products. So they may include donkey, horse, bullock and many other animals. We then discussed about the lactation period when we were talking about the yield of the milk. So after the birth of the calf, whatever the period is there of milk production, so when the female cattle gives milk after the birth of the cow, that time duration for which she gives milk is called the lactation period. Now, in order to get more yield of milk, we need to increase the lactation period. So there are various ways by which the lactation period can be increased, and one of them is the crossbreeding. Now, how is crossbreeding obtained? It is obtained by hybridization. Now, what is hybridization? It is made by crossing animals of different species. Now see, this we have already learned when we were discussing about plants. When we were talking about hybrid plants, we had discussed how the plant species are crossed, and from that a new species is created, and that will give good yield of crops. So when we were discussing about crops, we also had learned about crossbreeding technique. So even in animals that technique is used, and the offsprings that are produced from such kind of crossbreeding are known as hybrids. So these hybrids, they show good characters of both the parents, like high lactation period, high resistance to disease, and they may be helpful to us in a better way. Now here you can see one example of the hybrid, that is the American saddlebred and the Arabian breed. So these two breeds are crossbred, and from that a new national show horse is produced, and which gives good hybrid horse. But this is not about lactation, this is just an animal which is the draught animal, but this was just an example. Even for cows, there are certain breeds which are crossbreed, and we get a hybrid cow. Now proper diet should be given in order to increase the lactation period or increase the milk production. So proper quantity of proteins in the form of amino acids, starch in the form of carbohydrates, fibers in the form of cellulose, nucleic acid, vitamins and minerals should be met with the need for feeding animals. Even supplemental nutrition should be supplied and provided at specific times in order to get a good yield of milk. Now here I have just given some information about how much feed does the cow and buffaloes need. So when we talk about the indigenous cow, basically it needs 2 to 2.5 kg feed or 100 kg as per for the when we talk about the body weight. But when we talk about the hybrid cows and buffaloes, they need around 2.5 to 3 kg feed per 100 kg as for the body weight. So this is just an information for you. Okay, now if this ratio is high, then you do not get the expected production and physical growth and good reproduction ability from them. So the main result of this is on the milk production. So what happens is, if proper diet is not given, then we not may get the good yield of milk, and so balanced diet is considered as an important focal point, or we can say the main focus for the milk production. So in order to get good milk, a proper diet should be given to the cows. Now see, there are certain people who just leave their cattle on the road or in the jungle, and they just leave them, and the cattle, they breed on the grass and they eat the weeds, and sometimes they do not get proper nutrition, and because of that the quality of the milk is deteriorated, and we do not get good quality of milk from those animals. So they must be fed with a proper fodder, and it should be bought specifically from them instead of just sending them for grazing, because grazing itself is not enough. It should be fed at least 3 kg of fodder. Now only giving food is not enough, even the cattle should be taken care of, and they should be properly cleaned, because the byproducts are to be used by us only. So in order to keep the animal in a good condition, it should be kept clean, and it should be given a proper shelter. That should be a roofed shelter with good ventilation, and it must protect the animal from rain, heat and cold. And the skin of the cattle should be regularly brushed, and the floor should be should avoid water clogging, and it should not, the water should not get collected actually, so that the cattle would feel comfortable in the place where it lives. We had already discussed about the food, but we need to discuss about the roughage also, because roughage contains fiber and it is very necessary, because cellulose is quite tough to be digested. We can't digest it, but animals can. But roughage should be included in the food that is given to the animals. And as we discussed, the concentrates containing proteins and the micronutrients like vitamins and minerals that should be given in order to enhance the milk production. And for good health and special diet, proper food should be given, and special diet should be given to the animal during the lactation period. If proper care is taken of the animal, then it will surely give a good yield. Now let us further discuss about the diseases that are caused in the cattle or in these animals. Now the main cause of this diseases are certain small organisms like roundworms, tapeworm, the uh, small other animals like the worms. Now these diseases can cause death and it may even reduce milk production. So reduction of milk production is okay, but if it causes the death of the animal, then it is very worst condition. So there are certain organisms like parasites. What are parasites? Parasites are those living organisms which live inside or outside the body of another organism. Now when they live on other organism, that animal is known as the host. So here who is the host? The cow or the buffalo. And these parasites, they live on it in order to get food, or they derive nutrition from the body of the host. When we talk about the organisms that live on the body of the host, they are known as the external parasites. So these external parasites, they live on the skin of the cattle and they causes skin diseases. So you might have observed some cows, the stray cows that are roaming around in the town, that they might have the damaged skin, and that is only because of these organisms, these external parasites that stay on the body of the host for a long time and they cause skin diseases. Internal parasites are those which live inside the body of the host, and they are worms which cause stomach and intestine problems. And there are certain organisms called fluke. You can see in the figure number 3 the fluke, and this fluke, they cause liver problems. So it is quite dangerous and it should be taken care of, and the animal should be kept clean and they may be brushed and cleaned properly so that no organism can stay on it for a longer time and the animal stays healthy. Okay, now even the bacteria, virus, they may cause infectious diseases, and these diseases can be transmitted from one animal to another. So even vaccination is given to animals to protect them against major diseases. So vaccination is also a program not only for human beings, for animals too. And if proper care is taken, if proper diet is given, then the animals can be reared in a better way and they just yield a good quality of milk. So they must be taken care. This is all about the cattles. We'll be talking about the poultry, the fish and the bee in the next session. Hope you have got a better understanding about the cattle rearing and the breeding of the cattle and the ways by which we can get good yield of milk and how animals are taken care of. I hope you have understood well. If you still have any doubt, please feel free to ask me anytime. Thank you. Have a nice day.